project. My propane forge is coming along nicely, and I've got probably the last part that I'm going to need ordered. So while I'm waiting on that, I've started looking into making my own by 72 inch belt sander. And I just happen to have this bench grinder sitting around the shop that someone had given me. And I think it's going to make the perfect motor platform for the belt sander. So while I'm waiting on some other parts to come in, I've ordered some roller skate bearings, wheel and bearing package, ordered some 2x72 belts because I'm starting this from scratch. So I ordered a belt assortment on Amazon, and I'm going to start stripping this down and take off, my grinding wheel, my wire wheel, anything that I'm not going to need for the belt sander, and start getting this prepped and ready to build a frame, mount it, and start building a belt sander. So this is day one of this project. I'm going to start stripping it down and see what I run into. So, well, as you can see, I've got all of this side stripped down. I did decide that I'm going to keep the grinder wheel, so I kept that all put together on this other side. That's all still intact, so I can actually use the grinder wheel, and this will be my drive wheel. This is a nylon wheel that has a metal insert that's threaded. Just happened to work out perfectly. I have two of these, and so I thought, hey, I'll try it because I was going to make myself a drive wheel, and this just happened to work out. So it's not perfectly true, but when I start it up, there's no vibration, so I'm going to try it. And this wheel actually has a little bit of a crown, which will work perfect for tracking on the belt. So as long as that works, I'll use it. If not, then I may get rid of that and turn a wooden wheel or try the other nylon hand wheel that I have to see if it works. So these are all the parts that I stripped off, and I'm going to hang on to most of it for spare parts. And these I dug out of a parts drawer, and these are some pretty strong struts. Actually, they might be, yeah, those might be too much. I was thinking about using those for my tension on my belt, but I think that's going to be too much. So I may use a spring type, or I might use the weight of the motor. I've seen a couple designs where the motor is sitting on a platform that's hinged, and when you let the motor down, it puts just the right amount of tension on the belt, and you don't have to have any other tensioners. So I'm going to mess around with that when I start building my framework. I apologize for my shop being such a mess, but it is what it is. I'm out here a lot tinkering, and I hardly ever clean, so my bad. None of this is put together yet. This is just setting in place, so I may knock the whole thing down here in a second trying to show you what I've done. But so this is the grinder that I was messing with that has my drive wheel on it, sitting in about the position it's going to probably be in. I've got a T-bar running across the back and then a short piece underneath the front of it, so it's got a solid platform that it's sitting on. And this, most of this is 2x3 square tube. No particular reason for using that except that it's what I had. All of this metal was metal that was in my scrap pile, and how many times do you ever start a project and actually have everything you need? So I was just thrilled that I had enough metal to even get this far. So I've got my main beam across the bottom, and that's that 2x3 laying flat, and then I turn them sideways on the uprights. A 1.75" by 1.75" square tube, so that my main piece can slide back and forth through it to get it set to the right length. This piece right here, what I'm going to do is take this piece and cut down into it and just leave a tab on both, so that this can sit down inside of that and pivot. And I'm going to have a spring probably ran from right here to here. I'll have a spring to hold tension on that, and my drive wheel will be, or not my drive wheel, but one of my wheels will be right here. So it'll be coming off of my drive wheel, coming up here across, and then this piece, whenever I get the length set for this, then I can get this set, and it won't be this long. This is just to get started. I have no idea, because I don't have a tape that's that flexible to know how long of a tape I need. So I'm just starting with the pieces I have. I'll cut them off as I need to, but for right now, this ought to get me pretty close. So I'll have a wheel here, a wheel here, and a wheel here, and then this will give me my work surface on the front, and I can run a plate off of this for my, I don't remember what that plate's called, but run a plate off the front, and should give me my work surface, and then I will mount probably the same system as this down lower, and I'll run and have a work table right here, and I want to have a fairly good sized work table so that I can use jigs and different things on that. I've got some I-beam that's 3/8 of an inch thick and probably 8 inches by 12 inches. I might use that. So anyways, just wanted to show you what I've got done so far. Still have a lot to do. I've got to clean all the paint off of this stuff so that I can weld everything together, or at least prep it where I need to weld it, because I'm going to repaint it anyways. But none of this metal has been cleaned, deburred, anything. All I did was just cut some stock to the basic length, where I still have plenty to shorten it up if I need to. It's a lot easier to shorten it up than it is to stretch it out. So anyways, that's where I'm at so far, and I will post another video as soon as I get my belts and my wheels in and I can actually start putting some of this together. I'm not going to bore you with my welding and prep work.